going into close here. Just waiting for this to come back on. I'm not sure. Oh, and there I go. I got my 3. All right, I'll take it. I forgot I still had those on. Just watching the stuff going into close, guys, and I will go over a few things for tomorrow and going into the end of the day. What a crazy, crazy day. Nothing too much of a surprise, though. I mean, we, pretty much called this as it was from the beginning. The big thing here, too, would have been, watching this from the, especially watching the add decline line all day. I mean, from this, where it kind of stalled out and dropped sideways, but you can see this add decline line just kept climbing and climbing and climbing all day today. Just as it was anticipated. Went a little bit higher than I thought. I called I called 3090, so we're sitting at about 3092. So a little bit higher than I was expecting, but there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, if nothing happens overnight, I expect them to try to drop headlines to get the algos moving back up. So I could definitely see this starting for that next leg up. This could have been the end of the breather. Could get a little bit more consolidation for the next couple days, and then continue on our climb back up. It's pretty much what I'm expecting from all of this. Nothing was too crazy today. Shopify was probably the trade of the day, though, hands down. I want to look at where we're sitting. So our FANG stocks all kind of made a nice climb back, all of them with that same swoop. Apple being the least. Bought back up. Netflix did all right. Netflix has also got a price target downgrade, so that's not good. But Google just started rocking there. Boeing started to catch a bid, but kind of stayed out. But yeah, Shopify, I mean, hitting a high now of 351.31. I mean, they're just literally almost like a $25 day today, or $30 day. Sorry. I mean, it initially started off, went down to the lows, and then just ripped up today. I'm just absolutely blown away. Big rip on Shopify. NVIDIA also came back alive, finally getting up above the lower Celt today. So that was a huge climb back up by NVIDIA. Roku ending the day just a little over 6%. Also, awesome day for Roku. NVIDIA, just unbelievable comeback. Disney started to come back a little bit, but catching resistance there on the middle Celt on the 4-hour, and Baba kind of stuck with resistance on the upper Celt as well. Nothing else I looked at in there. AMD did start to get bought back up, which was pretty impressive. So here's that Shopify. So I've been in this since this morning. So out of the gate, it had dropped, pre-market dropped, and then dropped down. That's where I caught it, and then this thing just never stopped. I mean, it literally just went all day long. It's just absolutely incredible day on Shopify. Slowly becoming one of my favorite plays over the last couple months. So something that I will continue to be watching. What else? So you can see where the bonds, so uberly important. It's they hit a high though, which was crazy, of 160.13, and then it started to sell back off. So that was impressive. Gold also hit a high, a 4-week high, I believe, today, and then started to sell off as the market started to climb up. And again, the big underlying thing here was the add divergence line that we are constantly preaching about in Discord, and this was the telltale right here. Not that it was a massive trade on anything, but the way this climbed up today was a pure indication that they were buying the dip on this today. That's absolutely where this went. It was buying the dip 100%. So not too surprised there. Just it's good to see when you have a set of strategy and rules, and then it really works out. It's really nice to see that come back alive. Took a few trades in the SPX. I got some VIX hedging positions. I've got my Shopify, which I got out of half. I'll keep the other half running now. It's all profit. I did take a small losing trade on Tesla. It did not move like I thought it was. It was being strong, and it backfired on me a little bit. I'll post that one as well, just because it's a good lesson to cut short, which is the only thing I did right in that trade. I knew I shouldn't have taken it, to be honest, almost, and for some reason I thought it was going to work out better. I'm not sure what I was exactly thinking there. I'm reading through some of these other comments. What was the low on this today? Oh, 70, but it hit a high 150. Okay. So some of the other news that came out today too was I saw some stuff about the impeachment stuff popping out. So I'm not really sure. Oh, and there's the bell right there, guys. I'm gonna keep watching because I've still got some trades that go SPX and futures for the next 15 minutes. So, but yeah, I saw some impeachment stuff came out about the whole Ukraine fiasco, and I'm not even sure if the market will even react to those anymore. So, not too surprised. But I would expect overnight to see a little. I don't think it's going to rocket or anything. I could see a slight grind up, depending on what the Asian markets do, to see if we see any sell off overnight. But I think we're going to continue this little grind up that it's had here into the overnight, and then pre-market will be detrimental tomorrow. Again, bears had all the chance in the world today, completely lost control. Was actually thinking it was going to be more than 1% by close. I thought we were going to be down probably 1.5%. But then once, just right here in the morning, I could tell once we hit this low, and then we were not able to get back over that. So by about 11 o'clock, I knew there was no chance. That was the low of the day within the first 15 minutes, and then it just, as this decline line just kept going up and we started to tick sideways, there was no way to go but straight across or slightly up, which it did. So finishing the day, cash closed at 30.92, but we'll see what the next few minutes has in store. So that's kind of what I'm watching here. And on slower days like today, obviously I had some stuff I had to do, but with a couple students, and then normally we'll be doing more lessons like we were last week, the week before last week, and last week a little bit during the slow parts. And then if it's like that where I have to do those things, I'll come back at the end like this so we can go over some stuff. Hopefully, if we have to do it more, we'll have a little bit more time to look at things. So it's really hard to pick directional trades right now. That's why I try not to do it too often. We try to keep a lot of the newer guys away from doing those directional trades for this very reason. It's so volatile. The thing is that's why you take duration. If you just hedge yourself constantly, essentially you could buy far enough out straddles on things, and you could literally sell the same way down, and then and that's why I prefer selling if you have the account size and you're able to do it, or do spreads and sell, and then you basically let this time work for you instead of against you. Because when things happen like this, even as it climbs back up, a lot of the positions that guys were in and have already taken, well, the problem now is that they're going to be getting so much theta decay that it wasn't worth it. So that's a big problem of being a buyer of options. It's why it's so tricky, because if you don't get your move within a day or two, I almost just cut those right away. I'll cut my buys within a couple days if it's not working out. I don't care what it does a week from then, because the probability says that it's not, even though it may rip up again, it's easy to just get lucky when it's a bull run like this and big rallies. But the thing is this market is not going to be that forgiving anymore, and it's been very tricky to trade for the last year or two, and it's only going to get harder as we go into next year, and as we get closer to issues with the interest rates being lower, and that's going to start catching up in quarter one of 2020. So that's why we constantly are pushing duration, not direction. That's why we're always talking about hedging. And it's not even just hedging. To me, I don't even consider it hedging for myself. I mean, that's what we try to teach it as, but hedging to me is actually being smart and playing both sides. That is the only way at all to be successful in this for the long term. Wanted to see what we ended up at on the Dow. Was 250 points down. So, okay. Yeah, and I think Boeing, if Boeing would have pushed up a little bit better, I think that would have been saved by quite a bit. So not too surprised there. Why DT are you sad? But I hope everybody, at least, if you took some trades or got out of some trades today, I hope everybody did good. I hope you guys, it's just, I hope it was a decent lesson to see, why hedging works so well. I mean, you guys can see, like on this VIX. I mean, I took out most of I've got a couple of positions left, but I got out most of these at the beginning of the day. Really close to about 1760, I think, is where I got most of them. But you can just see in 3 days, I mean, even from yesterday, it was down 13 all the way to an 18 in a matter of 24 hours. So these trades went from being up, I think it was like 3 or 1, 2. Let me look. I'm trying to look. Oh, it was up 4% to being up 560% this morning. So that's why we constantly are talking about hedging. And I still had a couple weeks on those, and they were already bought a couple weeks ago. So I usually buy those out about 45 days is what I say when I buy. When I sell, it's usually about the same or a little bit less, but I get out of them about 50% of the way. So when I sell an option contract, I will usually sell it so it's out about 45 to 60 days. And then I usually am out of that position within 50% of the expiration date. I very hardly ever hold all the way. That is so risky, and probability says, et cetera, et cetera. So risk reward, all those kind of scenarios. But oh, damn, man, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That sucks. Is it still from what we were talking about? Is that why you're still feeling crappy? God, man, I was hoping by now you'd be doing better. So what did we hit? A total of 22 points up. Yeah, 22 points. That's crazy. What a weird day. That morning, just, that's exactly what we were saying this morning. It was like literally exactly on the dot. Like I was saying, it's that scare them, get everybody flipping out, get everybody selling, screaming, and then get those bears all excited, but then they weren't even able to hold it, and then boom, just pull the rug out. So there was a lot of people who lost a lot that got out and didn't just hold on to wait till this, moves back up in the next couple days. And then the worst are the people that took all these new positions, and then this thing just started getting bought back up. And especially if this thing gets bought back up into tomorrow, yeah. Gotta watch your risk. That is critical here. Oh crap, dude. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Shitty. Yeah, so I'll be keeping my eye on the VIX really hard here. I'll be watching the VX /VX and VVX overnight. That'll be stuff I'll be watching really closely. I'll be watching gold and bonds overnight to see what happens here, especially in the bonds. The gold, it's not as foretelling, obviously. I mean, it does help a little bit, but oil. This whole column, you guys, this is like my indicators of the market column, basically. So I'll be watching what oil does, but the big thing will be bonds, /ZB. We're sitting at a 159.30. You guys don't really need to know how to read this necessarily. The important thing is just to know to read it and to pay attention. So I will be watching this very, very closely after hours, and then especially pre-market, and then that way we'll kind of see what we're doing here. But you can see, like, from over here on the daily, the way that we've consolidated down. I mean, we just gave back about 2 weeks of these slow little grinds up. That's great. This is exactly what this needs for this next rip up. And I'm expecting newer highs. I'm not expecting to just get back up here. I'm actually expecting newer highs. I wouldn't go as high as I was calling for before, but depending on news catalysts and stuff like that, 3,200 would not be out of the question. I don't think we'll see 33 or 34. That's a little bit extreme to me. But like 32, I could see that happening. And And then I'm thinking we get that big turn coming in January is what I'm seeing. And I'm not going to get too much into that yet. Like I know I keep kind of like teasing everybody about it, but like we will have like a full session one of these nights coming up before Christmas where we'll go over all of that kind of midterm, long-term 2020 kind of, year ahead type of thing. I will do a year in review like I did last year. I know probably none of you guys knew that then, but well, maybe DT, but and we'll go through like the year and just kind of go over some of the best trades. I'll have all of my broker statement stuff so we can all look through that and everybody can see it. Talk about my biggest trades, my biggest losses. We'll do a cool like little night of that where it works for everybody, or day, whatever. But and then the big thing is I don't really care what the market did this year. I want to know what it's doing coming up, right? So we'll have a full maybe split that up into 2 sessions. And then hopefully a lot of the stuff we're working on, we'll start having a lot of things coming out in January. So yeah, I'm getting excited. You guys should be excited too. I know it's hard this time of year with family and stuff going on and work, but I've been super, super proud of everyone in here. These are things to watch out for, guys. We'll go over more of this stuff later today, and I'll be in Discord, and then early in the morning. And I'm thinking... I know tomorrow I have a couple meetings, but I'm thinking maybe Thursday. Yeah, Thursday and Friday we should be able to have full sessions and see what we start seeing in the market. And then I really want to be able to try to do something this weekend. If enough people are interested, that's the other thing. So, all right, guys, I'm going to continue to watch these futures. I'll be in Discord. I just wanted to hop on here and kind of show how we kind of called this out, why we called it out, what we were seeing. The big thing today, again, was the declining VIX. The tick was kind of not helping too much. It was, but the ad divergence line, watching this and and this cross ticking and upticking, these 3 indicators right here were telltale signs. Add that in with the bonds coming down, and that would have given you, absolutely would have showed you that the direction was buying the dip, essentially. Not a big buy. It's not going to happen yet. There's too much pessimism right now. There's still going to be a lot going into tomorrow, but I do expect to. I would put my money on it right now. I would say that I think that the lows are probably in, and then that this is going to be the next slow grind up to the next. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. Thanks. I'll see you guys all over in Discord. Thanks, guys.